you.
There's a stack.
Huh?
There's a stack.
Okay, as long as everybody else has one, it's fine. Thank
Looks
you.
like she printed quite a few.
15.
I can see.
So they said you should wait 90 days, but when I got it, I didn't have a family doctor, so I didn't have anybody to fill out the medical form. Nobody would touch it because I only went to a hospital. So, well, I mean, now I've already got both of them, but my work.
All right, dude, I'm Gary, put you on speaker, dude. Sorry, dude.
That's kind of my thinking, like I have positive tests, like clearly I tested positive for it, so it's been rough. And I had just had a major surgery in June, and so I think just with my body already kind of trying to heal from that, and then getting COVID, boom, right on top of it in August, it took me out, that's for sure. It's just crazy how differently it affects everyone.
This meeting is called to order. Let's stand and do the pledge of allegiance and then have a moment of silence or prayer, whichever you prefer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, we have meeting or minutes from the last meeting. No, I think you were out of town or something too, weren't you? Yep. All right. We have a motion to table the minutes then from the last meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Let's take a look at the budget.
Just let the board know, I got Tom, he's out of town. He's on the phone. If you guys have any questions for him, just let you know that's what's going on. So if you do need him for any reason, he's available.
Cool beans.
Hey, Tom, are you able to hear us?
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, in the last meeting, the residents were allowed to ask questions concerning the budget. In this meeting, it will be for the board to discuss the budget and then to vote on it. At the end of the meeting, when we've got all of our business taken care of, we will have a good to the order, and at that time, residents will be allowed to speak or ask questions. All right? Okay. So, on township, are there any questions on the township budget? The question I have is, we have $788 for the SBOA audit, and I believe she told us in our meeting that was gonna be higher, like $1,500 or so,
Wasn't it 15 and then 3? And then,
like 1,800.
Yeah.
Right. And we got $788, I believe, for that. Do we wanna raise that, or just do a transfer later?
It'll all come out of the general fund,
Yeah.
so we just have to cut it somewhere else. So yeah, right now, if we have to, we can look at doing a transfer later to make it easy.
Good deal. I assume we'll be using most of the travel expense to go down the floor and back for a good part of it for the apparatus.
On this one,
Yes.
not on this
Oh,
one.
it'll be on this year's, yeah.
Yeah, no, this one will be, yeah.
Yeah, this is next year, I apologize.
Yeah, no worries, yeah.
I don't know, you gonna get this yet?
Supposedly next month.
It seems promising.
Okay.
Hope for the best.
Yeah.
I noticed that on utilities, that in the prior years, we spent around 12,000 or so. Are we expecting utilities to go up around $5,000 this year?
Not knowing the cost of what's gonna happen with fuel and everything, I have no way of knowing that.
Are we on, what are we on? Not to be ignorant, but what are we on? Are we on gas or,
You got gas and, yeah, so there's a lot of it,
I heard gas is going up.
gas, electric, yeah.
Any questions?
Nope.
All right, let's move on to township assistance.
The township assistance on here for fuel, is that for,
I was just looking at that too. What do you, do we even use that bucket? I didn't think so.
There's been nothing spent in it in the last couple of years.
Yeah, when I asked her just to do the budget, we just carried over what we had, except for the utility.
so it's still sitting there?
I would like to see not I would like to see, I would recommend, that's a better choice of words and more what I mean, don't like it. Salaries and wages, I think that ought to be around $4,000 rather than $8,000 in lieu of what has transpired in the last couple of years as far as COVID and so forth. That would also drop employee benefits down to about $306. What are y'all's feelings on that?
I'm always gonna be good with that.
Well, with COVID almost hopefully over, are we gonna start having office hours or anything here?
Not anytime soon.
Do they ever plan in the future?
No, there's it's posted what hours were available, but it's scheduled on it. I'm not gonna have people walk through the station, just open up the station for them. So yeah, all you do is call and we're available.
All All right, township is, no, sorry, I
Fire.
apologize, fire, yes. Excuse me, the banner at the bottom, it's over at the top, sorry. In the firefighting fund, we're looking at a total of about 100,000 increase, I believe.
Does that include the contract deal with the?
No,
No, that's different.
No.
That's not something you can put in here.
and looks like the majority of it is in wages, so just to point that out. Any questions on that?
Just one. 31,000, is that reflecting they're gonna increase everything on us? Is it percentage last year or what?
I don't remember what it was last year, to be honest with
I
you,
don't either,
but
that's why I asked.
the only areas that we looked at was what we can actually put back into the people's pocket. We didn't increase the answer to that. Everything else is pretty flat, unless I'm
Well, that
mistaken, Tom.
includes utilities, I mean,
Yeah, it's
So
been-
everybody gets paid from there.
Well, in 2020, it was $27,617,
majority of it.
so that's pretty close.
Yeah,
And with any increases, you're gonna be
yeah, we're gonna be
right
cut.
there.
we'll build back America, it's gonna go up.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
What was the question, Scott? I'm sorry.
Oh, they was talking about the utilities and then just where the additional 100,000 was going to, and I explained to them that it's basically going to the ladies and gentlemen of the department.
Yeah, I think we put 10,000, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think we put 10,000 in vehicle maintenance and an additional 5,000 in buildings maintenance, I think. And then the rest was salaries and benefits.
Thank you.
Yep.
Equipment debt, nothing you can do about it. It's debt, it's incurred, it's there. Cume fund,
It's not that bad though.
half the cume fund is taken up by loans. So you got $82,000 to work with. Is there any major things you would foresee that would be coming out of the cume fund this year?
Off the top of my head, no. What I was going to ask you, Tom. You got anything that you've got slated
This year? Or next year?
2020.
next year?
2022.
Next year.
2022.
Well,
Yes.
unfortunately, that's a hard one to answer because we don't know whether we're going to take delivery of the new apparatus this year or next year. And there is going to be a balance owed on that whenever we do take delivery of it. That balance is going to be obviously less than what we originally anticipated because of the delay penalty. But we still have to purchase, new tools and equipment for that. So the money that we're going to get for the penalty from the manufacturer is basically just kind of offsetting the amount of tools that we were going to buy. So it's hard to say what we're going to need this year and what we're going to do next year. We've also got the new the other vehicle coming in that will need lights and sirens and need equipped that way. We've also, with the purchase of the radios this year, we did not get chargers for the vehicles, which includes any of the apparatus, staff cars, any of that. So the portable radios do not have chargers in the vehicles, which is where we the old radios, that's where we stored the radios, was in the chargers, which kept the battery fresh all the time. It also was kind of a safe place to store those, to keep them from just sitting on the seats or whatever, and falling, getting lost, getting banged around, things like that. So that's one thing that again, depending this year or next year, depending on when the new apparatus comes, that's something that's on the radar. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, just because of the unknown of when we're going to take delivery.
Well, I have a question. You said that we would still owe, is that on the vehicle itself, the apparatus?
Yes.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't, I thought they had took out the whole.
Yeah, I thought we took it all at the same time.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. How
So-
much are we gonna owe?
Well, it depends on when we get it. Originally, it was going to be, again, I don't have any paperwork in front of me. I want to say right around 60,000. But we're going to get, at this point, if it came tomorrow, we would have, probably 35,000 in penalty money. So that, that offsets that.
Well, it can't offset it if you're gonna spend that money on tools.
Well, correct, but I mean, we were gonna spend 60,000 and then tools. So now it would be, that 35,000, and we're gonna try and get a lot of the tools from the manufacturer, because they can get it a lot cheaper than most other distributors. I've got that sent out to multiple vendors now to try and get the best price on every single item that we're going to put on that truck. I'm waiting on those quotes to come back. Another thing that we are in bad need of is cots for our ambulances. We currently have 0 that are in working order that belong to us. The 2 that we have on our ambulances right now are loaners. So that's something else that's a very, very strong need.
How much are those?
I don't know if Margot's there, she can maybe answer that.
She
You happen to
is.
know?
Oh, the automatic cots, just the cot itself is anywhere from 25 to 35. The full loading system is anywhere from 50 to 60. I wouldn't recommend putting a full loading system in the backup truck,
No.
because of the age. The newer truck, potentially yes, but in the dire need that we are right now, just 2 automatic cots would be sufficient, but like you said, currently none of our cots, we have 3, but they're all outdated, so Stryker will not even mess with them. We've utilized all the parts, tried to fix them ourselves over the last couple of years. They're out of service, so we're borrowing cots,
How long have we been borrowing cots?
for about 3 months now.
And question on the chargers, that wasn't part of the deal when we signed the contract, I assume?
It was not.
It was gonna be the charger.
We have desktop chargers, but chargers for the apparatus was never part of the deal.
And what's the approximate cost on that?
I don't have that. But I mean, it would be, if you're asking individual, I mean, I would say probably a couple $100, but we need 4 for every apparatus, 1 for every staff car, 2 for every ambulance. So I mean, it adds up pretty quick. And I couldn't exactly hear what Margot was talking about with the cots, but I'm assuming she mentioned the power lift system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her and I have had that conversation before. that would be a huge upgrade and a huge asset to our employees, as it takes a lot of the lift, actually all of the lifting off of the employees, and it's all automated. You know, and that ends up affecting workers' comp claims and injuries, lost wages due to injuries, you know, things like that. So if she didn't mention that, then I just wanted to throw it out there.
What's the expected lifespan on one?
The average cot is anywhere from 7 to 10 years. So, and they come with warranties as well. The cots that we currently have are, I want to say, 10 to 12 years. And the Striker for the automatic cots, they only deal with them up to 8 years, and we've managed to make them last this long, and obviously have taken care of them that they've lasted this long, but unfortunately.
Any other questions?
No.
All right. I think the only question we have is reducing the poor relief investigator salary. Is that correct?
Here's the one I brought up.
Do you have a suggestion of where you would put it?
Where I would put the 4,000? Nope.
It within?
No, I don't. The other option we have is we could leave it in the budget and on the salary resolution, address it and then look at it another 6 months from now, see where we're at. See if things have increased, what we're doing. Do I hear a motion to accept the budget?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Do you have this one?
Yes.
Okay. I have an extra packet if you guys wanna use one of those for signatures on the various things.
Is this the same stuff you emailed me?
Mhm.
I got a copy of it.
Okay.
All in favor to accept the budget, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Moving on to the adoption of the salary resolution. I understand in conjunction with the salary resolution, there is a matter of firefighter, full-time merit firefighters wanting to increase PERF rather than a wage increase. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. And so therefore, I would like to make a motion to table the salary resolution, so you guys have a chance to look at it.
So explain that, what are they wanting to do? They're, instead of taking raises, they want it to pay their PERF?
Yes, an increase in PERF.
So that's less they're paying out on it.
Okay.
So essentially it puts more money back in your pocket, is what they asked for.
What is that right now?
What are we paying, 3%? I think it's going up to,
So
go ahead,
the
Tom.
the employer contribution, that's mandated by PERF is 6% for each employee. It is an option, and it's done all over the state, that the employer can pick up part of that 6% or all of that 6%. And I believe it was last year, maybe even the year before, we picked up 3% of the employer, or of the employee, excuse me, of the employee contribution. So this year, in consultation with the union, they requested, in lieu of a hourly pay increase, that the department pick up the other 3% of their employee contribution. So that's why you see the hourly rate for full-time employees basically just carried over from last year, or from this current year.
I mean, if that's what they want, then I would be fine with adopting that.
And it's gonna cost us either way, that salary or that. Can they carry that perf over to other, let's say they left here and went somewhere else, did that carry over? That's. So they won't lose it.
No, as long as they go to another perf department, then it carries over. If they just left, let's say they left the fire service altogether, they still don't lose that money. What, their contribution plus the employer's contribution, it goes into an account that is owned by the employee. So even if they, totally separate from the fire service altogether, they don't lose that money.
Do they have an option to withdraw on it then, if they leave the department altogether?
Yes.
Or do they have to wait till
Yes.
they get old enough to retire or something?
I believe they can pull their money out in a lump sum. Obviously, they're going to take a pretty big tax penalty on that, but I believe
That's taxable money at that time.
We worked it out to how much that is per hour for the
per
increase in
hour,
perf.
no.
It's about 25 cents.
So they get, basically we're talking about, you either get a 25-cent raise or you get, I don't have a problem with it.
I agree.
We gotta do something with the first motion first.
What was the first one?
First motion was the table resolution.
Oh.
Well, not hearing a second.
Well, I'll second it.
All in favor say aye. All in favor say nay.
Nay.
All right, then let's move on to, who would like to make a motion to accept the salary resolution and the perf increase?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Salary resolution is adopted. All right, moving along.
I just want to say real quick, thank you guys. Appreciate that very much. I know it means a lot to our firefighters. We have, for several years now, we've been the lowest paid in our area, and this doesn't bring us past that, but it sure is a step in the right direction. So I appreciate it, and I know they do too.
Yeah, I can see him sitting.
There's a resolution for transfer from rainy day fund to the fire fund. I don't see that.
I didn't see that either.
I have that.
Oh, that's a back thing. Okay.
Larry, do you need one?
Let me look here. I'm kind of blind in my old age.
It says, it was the back of that packet,
Yeah, I got
probably at the bottom or something.
unless it's under here. Don't want you, nothing. Kind of say, just grab one of those, if you would, please.
Here,
Oh, no, there's that one.
Here, I got it.
yeah, that's what the state.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got one copy here. Gotta sign this side.
All right. Whereas.
This is the 195 that we move every year, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
We usually do this in June.
earlier in the year, yeah.
That's the amount, $195,000. That's the usual.
Yeah, it's the same thing, yes, we've done it for years, just later in the year.
All right. Any questions?
No,
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the transfer.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
What do you say aye?
Yeah.
Didn't hear you.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No.
I'll say it
I wanna
louder.
make sure-
Aye.
I want to make sure it's recorded.
All right. What did the
Okay,
phone
we
say?
need two of these. Okay, you guys are signing.
Thank you.
Questions on that?
That one's signed by somebody.
Me.
Thank you.
On these tax rates, are they the same as last year? I would assume they are.
Where are you going back to? Oh, you're going back to the budget stuff. You know with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we obviously need to vote on it. Since the tax rates are the same, I don't see.
That's just a notice for the taxpayers.
It's got our, this one.
Oh, that one. I was with the wrong one. My bad.
Yeah, I think you're looking at, the other one has to be voted on. So, do I hear a motion to accept the tax rates? Evidently, that's what we're voting on, tax rates.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, or nay. So this notice will be. Okay, any old business? Any new business? I would like to make two recommendations if we can. It looks like that we're gonna go beyond the first of the year with our EMS contract, I would assume, since the road is not done yet.
No, it continues until the road's actually done.
Right, so that's why I say it's not gonna end, because the road's still not done. So my recommendation is to take the funding from that EMS, countywide EMS that we're providing for Harrison Township, and put it in the rainy day fund so that we can transfer it by vote as needed, when needed.
Can I make another suggestion?
Yes.
Why don't we get these cots that we need for the ambulances?
Well, if we put it in there.
The rainy day, when we ask for it.
Then
We can transfer it.
So that'd be a good
Because we're
idea.
gonna need to get numbers and everything anyways, good numbers and so forth.
Yeah, get the solid
She
form.
likes that idea back there. She put it
Can you work on that, Margot?
I'd also like to make a recommendation that, if we get the additional tax levy, we put that in the rainy day also and do the same transfer by vote where it's needed. And there's 2 recommendations. And I think if we want, in our next meeting, we could vote on that, if you guys want to mull it over and think about it. I think that would be a good way to handle those funds.
You know, if we get a list of what your real needs are, like I didn't have any idea about the cots till now. I mean,
Those cots are the same ones that came with the buses, weren't they? That's what I thought.
and then these extra chargers, I mean, somebody needs to make a list so we have an idea what's coming up.
Also, I wasn't aware that we're gonna owe additional on the apparatus either, so. All right. So we know that the new apparatus is supposedly gonna be here next month, and what's the approximate arrival of the chief vehicle?
I've not heard anything new, have you, since last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was at the 1st of October. They had said an estimated delivery date of the 29th, I believe. I have not heard anything since then, and which kind of leads me to believe that it's not going to be the 29th. I think they would reach out if it was. So when I get back in town, I will try and get a new update. But like I said, in the previous meeting, that date has gone back. I mean, we ordered it in December, and that date has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So
We'll have a year-old vehicle when we get it.
You appreciate fast one.
All right, I think that's our business, but we're, no new business, so good to the order. Does anybody have any questions or recommendations or statements? None?
Awful quiet.
Yeah, there's still no minutes posted on the website for 2021 and only 2 board meetings for 2020. I think those things would be nice to be posted so that the community can get on there and look at minutes for the board meetings.
Okay, we'll address that.
The census numbers are out, and we had 486 population increase from 10 years ago.
Just 486?
Yep, it is kind of
For the
surprising. I thought it would be a little more than that myself, but
Well, who's living in all these new houses?
Yeah, there's no way, that's right.
but
Well, there's no way
I
that's
think what's
right.
happening, from what I can tell from the housing units and that sort of thing, is that there's a lot more homes that don't have as many children in them. So,
That and some
kind of
people
like
live in
our
apartments
home.
in
We
the
had
houses.
So
3
we need to go to the
kids.
school board
and now we
cut
don't
their
have any.
funds because they're not going to have that many kids now then, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, but anyway, that is, so our township has about 10,000 people in it now.
That's what it had before.
And I just wanted to say again, I mentioned this last time, but the budget needs to be posted by September the 14th. It is the law in Indiana, the Indiana code, and we never seem to be able to get it to that point. And the other thing I wanted to say is, it was mentioned in the last meeting by the fire chief that the board voted on that car, and the board never did vote on that car. And I just want to make that a statement.
Anyone else? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thanks, Tom.
I don't want you to wipe my head off.